Alright, I mounted up one of the 34.5 Outlaw 2s. As always, every Outlaw 2 is a pain in the ass to mount. This big wraparound sidewall knobby makes the bead all wavy. Managed to not have to use ether, but it was not easy. But I'd use a strap and everything. Looks pretty mean. Definitely one of the baddest pulling tread patterns on an Outlaw. Much better than the 32.5. Ran it before on my 34.5. These are the same tires I bought a while ago. My buddy had them. I got them back from him. So I only mounted once. You get a good comparison. Definitely a lot meatier looking than the BKT. They're probably not going to grab quite as hard because the V-tread is, made for work, like a Polaris. So it's not going to pull quite as hard, but I suspect I should be able to swim it better and work it with the extra sidewall wrappage and stuff. Should be able to get me through some of those holes where I'm lacking ground clearance. They are about an inch taller, which is what you'd expect because it's a 34.5 versus a 35.5. Unmounted, they're like 3 inches taller, but they're just both sitting at 10 psi, and the Outlaw doesn't stretch nearly as much as the BKT does. As far as the tread itself, I ordered a durometer to trust, tread stiffness. This is a pretty good test. So the Outlaw 2s are pretty stiff compared to any other Outlaw, but the 34.5, especially these, for some reason, they're pretty new, so the rubber isn't, super hard yet, but they're definitely a softer tread than the BKT by a lot. I mean, just pushing your finger into them, you can definitely tell a difference. Part of that's because it's slotted, but so hopefully I'll get a little better flex. The beads are a lot nicer than the BKT as far as like wrapping around the rim, this nice big rubber bead right here. So maybe I'll be able to run a little bit less PSI in them. They are wider than the BKTs. So on these little 5.75 inch wide wheels, having an inch more tire width should let me go down a few more PSI without having bead issues. So I'm hoping to be able to run them around 5 or 6 PSI. I had to run these around 10 to keep them from getting crap in the beads. With this nice bead these tires have, should be able to run them closer to 5. I'm all about low PSI for, ride quality, flexing and pulling and shit. But yeah, it should be interesting to test out. I'm sure it can turn them fine. The fact that the knobbies are a lot more sloped, even though they're wider and they have more tread, this is a very hard tire to turn because the knobby, the dirt really builds up there and that bites hard. This will release dirt a little bit easier. So I don't think I'll have a problem turning them. They're pretty light compared to the Juggernauts and the Mambas. So, yep, get the rest mounted up tonight and probably do some testing tomorrow.